Imagine you're at a crossroad in your life. One path leads you down the life you've always known, the path of comfort. Every new year, we're excited for the future and feel we have endless potential. But what starts off feeling like a fresh start quickly fades and we go back to the same old routine and life when our motivation dies. New Year's resolutions are dropped, that goal of losing weight, quitting your bad habits, or becoming a better brother, friend, or son fades away. We stay stuck in a loop, content with being mediocre, and quickly forget about all those dreams of changing our life that we had at the start of the new year. But there's another path we can take, one filled with infinite potential. If you walk this path, you can become the person you've always dreamed of and have the life that you can only imagine. To do this in 2026, you have to stop walking the path you've gotten used to. You'll have to sacrifice your comfort, identity, and risk it all for the unknown path. And just maybe, if you take this path, you can become someone greater. Think about the life that you've lived so far. How did 2025 go? Did you make goals and promises at the start, only to give up on them when life got tough? Are you making those same goals right now for the new year? Repeating the cycle all over again. The funny thing about time is that we're all running out of it, but we all think we have too much of it. If we realized how valuable our time was, we wouldn't waste it on things that didn't matter. Endless doom scrolling, getting involved in shallow drama, and spending time looking at other people's lives on social media instead of living our own. We find these pointless habits entertaining enough to stop us from asking the real question: how do we want to live? We're all alive, but no one taught us how to live a good life. This is something that we have to figure out for ourselves. We end up copying others and trying to change our lives during the new year. But no matter how many times we set up New Year's resolutions and goals, we go back to being stuck in our loop when life gets tough. It's way easier and more comfortable to repeat the life that we have known than to walk the unknown path towards our dreams. Every new year, I decide to change myself. I tell myself I'm going to give up smoking, I'm going to start running more, I'm going to become a stronger man. But whenever I reach that crossroad where I have to pick between my old comfort and my new way of life, I find myself folding when life gets tough. I go back to everything I promised myself that I was going to change. I find myself smoking when I get stressed, even though it was the very thing I promised myself to quit. Most people give up on their goals and dreams when life gets tough. And the reason why isn't because we don't want to change ourselves and actually keep our word. It's just that it's way easier for us to go back to the comfort and the consequences that we know about instead of picking that hard path of sticking true to our new path when life gets tough, because we're honestly afraid of failing, which is so weird to say because we know what the consequences of not pursuing the unknown path towards our dream is. It's the old way of life, it's living every single day without feeling fulfilled and becoming someone who can't stay true to themselves. But for some reason, that is the easier path to pick than the path of potential failure. And the reason why is just because we know what our old consequences and what our old failures look like, and we'll always pick that over anything that we don't know. And the reason why is because we spend most of our time coping with life instead of living it. So the question becomes, how do we stay true and actually change ourselves instead of constantly failing and falling backwards? People overvalue the start of a new year and undervalue the start of a new day. Just because the year changes doesn't mean today will be any different from yesterday if we don't wake up and decide to change something about ourselves. People procrastinate on their dreams and wait for New Year's to come to be their fresh start. But here's the thing. If you spent a whole year waiting to change your life around, you'll have built up so many habits, ways of thinking, and lifestyle choices that keep you trapped. If you want 2026 to be a year that pivots you back in the right direction, you have to be ready to change every single day. Not just on New Year's or when you're feeling motivated. We always have a fresh start every day we wake up. But it's more convenient to procrastinate and wait until a new year to get started on our dreams because we think delaying things until later will give us more time. When I realized I was doing this, I saw just how much of my time I was wasting running away. But things are different now because I don't look at New Year's as the crossroad or whenever I feel like I have to pick between my old way of life and pursuing my dreams. I look at every single day I wake up as the crossroad. Because the truth is that nobody is forcing our dreams onto us. Nobody's forcing us to change. Nobody is telling us to stay true to our promises. But if that's the type of person that we want to be, then we can choose that every single day we wake up, or we can go back to the life that we've always lived and where we know all of the comfort, all of the consequences, and be that type of person that just gives up every single day. That's the freedom that we're lucky to have. We can choose to pursue our dreams, or we can choose to stay the way that we've always been. But when I look at anime and I look at the anime characters that I respect, all the strong protagonists, I realize that they're the type of person who always stays true to themselves, pursues their dream, and doesn't give up on their goal no matter how hard it is to accomplish. They aren't the type of person that makes excuses when they wake up tired or when life gets tough. They start thinking, how can they find the path that gets them closer towards their goal? And this is the type of person that I want to be. Not just when New Year's comes, but every single day when I wake up. That's the type of person that I need to keep in mind, so that way I'm focused and I don't lose sight of what it is that I want to achieve that day. The protagonist of a story would wake up every single day and pursue one goal. No matter how tough it is, it's just one arc in their life. That's why you need to look at 2026 as one arc. One season you're going through no matter what. So you might as well make it a story that's worth telling. If this were one arc in your story, what would your main goal be? Who or what would be the villain getting in your way? Who are you trying to become? When this year ends, how do you want to look back on your arc and see your growth? Do you want to feel like the protagonist who overcame an insane arc? Or would you want to be the side character who did absolutely nothing? I'm tired of living a life with regrets and failing to pick the right path whenever I reach a crossroad. But to make this year a pivot year, something has to be sacrificed. For anything to be gained, something of equal value must be sacrificed. That's the law of equivalent exchange. Luckily for us, it most likely won't be our leg or our brother that we'll have to sacrifice. But we will have to sacrifice something that is just as important, which is our old way of life. The version of you that has kept you walking down the same old path. When you give up your old self, all your excuses and habits that have kept you comfortable, that's when real change comes. That's when your arc really begins. But here's the thing about your arc. Once you go through it, your story doesn't end there. You'll have to go through another arc where you'll be tested and you'll be forced to either grow or give up on what you want to achieve. If you take this year seriously, you'll be able to just get a little bit stronger, outgrow your weaknesses, and be able to move forward. Even if it's just one step down the unknown path towards your dream.